Amai Esther Lungu, the clergy, Secretary General and Deputy Secretary General of the Patriotic Front, members of the Central Committee, members of the Association of Zambians in South Africa and in the diaspora, the children of Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu. Need I say, my dear fellow mourners, I want to confess that I spent hours last night trying to write what I would come and say. But I ended up with nothing. Nothing, because everything I wrote didn't make sense. Everything I wrote to come and say about that man didn't make sense. I simply pray to God that He pours into me, into my heart, the strength to say what my heart wishes to say while standing here. Yes, Edgar Chagwa Lungu will be remembered as a very humble man. But make no mistake, I shall remember him like many other Zambians, like many other people, as a president who didn't as much enjoy his presidency for himself. Right from day one, Edgar Chagwa Lungu was subject to ridicule and unnecessary criticism. But he stood tall. He was called Chakolwa. He was called Chimbwi no plan. And yet when we look back to the 7 years that he provided leadership for Zambia, like MCC Silva Charikosa said, he delivered beyond the expectation of many Zambians. We will remember him as a very resilient man. Resilient because he was not reactionary. Even when people castigated him unnecessarily, he took it within his stride. He still soldiered on because his was a vision. His was a mission to leave Zambia better than he found it. Others would have sung songs and compared their own work with what predecessors had done or failed to do. For Chagwa, that was not in him. He compared what he was doing with what he wanted to achieve, and that was the drive that he had in him. He will also be remembered as a person who did not benefit from what he planted. Edgar Chagwa Lungu paved roads in Zambia, and yet he was not allowed to go jogging on those streets. Edgar Chagwa Lungu built markets for us, and yet after his time of service, he was not allowed to go visiting those markets. Edgar built hospitals. I'll come to that later. Edgar Chagwa Lungu constructed airports. And yet after his time of service, he was not allowed to use those airports. Yes, that man was a humble man. And yes, he wore a smile all the time you met him. But I want to tell you, he was human just like you and me. That was burning in him all the time. And all that we can do now is to ask God, why, God, why? I will not ask God why he has taken him. But God, please, please, God, give those who have answers to give us the answers. Why was he not allowed to seek medical attention when he needed it the most? Why? Tell us why. God, let them tell us why. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, in his presidency, evacuated many citizens to go and receive the required medical attention. And yet, when it was his turn, all of us turned our backs and looked away. Why? Tell me why. Why? Even in his death, why was he treated different from the other presidents who passed on? Zambia has had the misfortune of losing presidents. But each of those presidents, their deaths were announced by sitting presidents. For Edgar Chagwa Lungu, when I was told about the demise, I was asked, as Vice President, do us the honors, announce to the people. And I said, I don't have the authority, because Edgar Chagwa Lungu served this country as president and deserves to be treated in the same manner that his predecessors who died before him were treated. We waited from 9 until 15:30 for the rumor which we hoped was just a rumor. We waited more than 6 hours for it to stop being a rumor. It wasn't stopped, to my expectation, by the incumbent president, as had happened before. It wasn't by a senior government officer. Many people shed tears when they saw that the one who was to break the news, the one who was to confirm the demise of Edgar Chagwa Lungu, was his daughter, Honorable Tasila Mwansa Lungu. Why? 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 Tell me why. It took more than 48 hours for a government official to go public. Not to announce the demise, no, but to announce that His Excellency, President Edgar Chagwa Lungu, was being honored. Honored? President Lungu honored in his death? Why? 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 I wish to join Secretary General Raphael Nakachinda to ask the question. I'll not ask you, but I'll ask my God. Tell us, God, is this how deep-rooted hate can be? Tell me, is this how those who give themselves to public office shall be rewarded? My dear brothers and sisters, on behalf of the Patriotic Front, on behalf of all opposition leaders in Zambia, on behalf of all citizens of Zambia, I want at this moment to thank God, first of all, for giving us that resilient man. He withstood a lot. He did not fight back. Everything was done to him. His house surrounded by police. The gate to his house being broken down, not by thugs, but by men and women dressed in the uniform that they used to salute him. They went and broke down his gate. That man. God, thank you for giving us him. If you were not able to learn from him, you run the risk of learning from lesser people. I knew Edgar Chagwa Lungu for more than 3 decades. The same way that he behaved when somebody tripped him in a football match, standing up and going to pat the person who tripped him, is exactly what he did even as a leader. Mama Esther and the Lungu family, thank you for sacrificing your husband. You gave him to save us. You did not give him to us for us to deny him what he needed the most. We are sorry that this could happen to him. And we shed tears because of that. And now many of us say, why did it happen? And yet when it happened, how many of us raised the voice? Good always prevails over evil. All that remains for us is to pray that Edgar Chagwa Lungu be given his wish. We denied him his wish in his life. In his death, he cannot defend himself. Please, please, I beg, give him the desires that he had. He did not trouble us. He does not deserve that even in his death, his wish is denied him. No, I beg, let his wish be respected. And who else knows his wish except his dear wife? Why struggle? What is the struggle for? Let go of your anger. And God, please tell us what sin Edgar Lungu committed to deserve what he went through. And for him, even in his death, to go through what is happening. Please, God, touch the hearts of those who have the power to give it to him. My fellow citizens, we should join hands in praying for Edgar Chagwa Lungu's repose. He ran the race and ran it well. Those who loved him in his life honor him by loving one another. Those who loathed him, let his demise touch you. Do to others better than you did to Edgar Lungu. No one deserves what Edgar Chagwa Lungu went through. 3 times denying a former president an opportunity to access life. He who denies you access to medication denies you life. That is what happened to that man. I want to assure you that those of us who are his followers, those of us who had the opportunity to live and work with Edgar Lungu, are sure of a number of things. But the most important is that indeed Edgar Chagwa Lungu has gone to be with his Father in heaven. But the spirit of Edgar Chagwa Lungu is not dead. More Edgar Chagwa Lungus shall rise. The love that he showed to us shall live in many of us. His resilience, his courage, his vision for Zambia shall flourish. And no one has the ability to stop it. My dear President, my friend, my leader, you achieved it. You have gone with a pure heart, a clean heart, a heart that was so forgiving and loving. You've gone without any hate for anybody. Your spirit will flourish. Edgar Chagwa Lungu. Go well. We will not let you down. The fight has only begun.